Welcome to the Relationship Goals podcast, everyone. I'm Melly, and we have a birthday boy named.
It's actually birthday man, and my name is BJ.
Sorry, he's 32, everyone. He is a man.
Yeah, I'm grown. Got a mortgage.
Happy birthday, babe.
Thanks, babe.
Today is BJ's birthday. If you're listening to this when this podcast does come out, August 2nd, he is a Leo.
Welcome to Leo season. We have a ton of friends and family who are Leos.
Yeah, we're going to do a lot of birthday celebrations this month. What are we going to do for your birthday?
I'm going to eat a big old prime rib at Lowry's. That's what I want.
Yeah, every year he chooses a restaurant. It's usually a steakhouse. Sometimes it's a buffet for his birthday. And then I always take like a photo of him with his food. I have one of like every year.
Yeah, you know, I'm a simple man. Just give me a big old hunk of prime American grade beef. That's all I need for my birthday.
And he's very simple. A lot of people bring up the fact that BJ is a dancer now.
I'm not a dancer. I just like to dance. There's a difference.
Every time I post something on social media of BJ dancing, there's always people replying to it. They're reacting to it. They're saying they love hype BJ, love dancer BJ. I mean, they really hype him up.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Again, I'm not a dancer. I just love to dance.
And I think that he especially learned that during quarantine, right? Because during quarantine, you know, we're bored. We're not.
Yeah, you know, just trying to find things to do within your day, especially when you're not working. Here, let me give you the story for how this came about. So just in general, when I was younger, just, you know, for however I can remember, I've always liked the concept of dancing. I just never, you know, my family never put me in it. Or I was also a little fat kid for a little bit of my life, till like high school. And then when I was in high school, I still wasn't around like dancers. I wasn't really big on Guam, so there wasn't any influence for me to dance. But, you know, I always liked hip hop music. I always liked the beats to music. It always kind of made me feel some type of way. And little did I know, it was just the inner dancing version of me trying to come out. So got to college, you know, in my fraternity, we had a lot of great performers who kind of did things like that. Always kind of wanted to do that, but never felt like I could, or just felt super shy, or what do you call that? Insecure about my ability to do that. Or just overthinking things. Was kind of fat too in college, so 200-pound BJ probably couldn't move as good as 180 BJ now. So that definitely played a role into it. And then, you know, as Melly said, during the quarantine, I stumbled upon this video on YouTube from this Korean dance studio, and it was the Post Malone song "Wow," and then it was a choreography to it. And I don't know, ever since then, after that video, it just inspired me to just start dancing, you know, finding my groove, and I started just moving, seeing what felt good to the music I like. I like a lot of music that you could create choreography to, like a lot of hip hop music. So just started from there.
He's like, I don't care what anyone thinks about me anymore. I'm just going to dance the way I want to dance. And that's basically what happened during quarantine. BJ lost a lot of weight and everyone's like, wow, BJ, what are you doing? And he's like, dancing. We did TikTok dances because, you know, TikTok became a big thing during quarantine. And BJ was all about doing the dances with me. And whenever someone asks me about BJ dancing, I always say BJ literally dances from morning to night. He wakes up, does his morning routine, and if he's not listening to a podcast and he's listening to music, he's doing some little dance. BJ's always dancing.
A lot of it, like, if, you know, for any of you listening that want to just dance, you know, just do it for yourself. I don't do any choreography because I'm horrendous at it. Like, I can't learn choreography. I've tried to like watch videos. Even like simple ones Melly try to make me do. Sometimes I can't do it. You know, it's probably because of my like ADHD tendencies. I can only move to things I want to move to. So a lot of my dancing and getting better at it, for the people who want to know, I just dance every day. Kind of like what she said. At freestyle, I just listen to a lot of music that have a lot of good beats, and I just move to it in however it feels. Sometimes it'd be more like flowy, sometimes it's more explosive, sometimes it's, you know, a combination of everything. I watch a lot of choreographers on YouTube to kind of see their style and like take moves from them. But like I said, it's just all to add to like what I like to do personally. And at work, I work in a really, really big store. So there's a lot of space. And within my day, I move a lot. So whether, yeah, I just dance whenever the music that's playing is very danceable too, or things that I like. So like I said, just a lot, I practice a lot in just my daily work routine. So for you aspiring dancers who want to just improve your groove, just practice, practice, practice whenever you can. Also, I have a lot of good friends who are amazing dancers, and their insight into it allows me to just, continue to get creative with it and grow in my own way.
It's always good to connect with people who love doing the same thing you're doing or have like more experience than you, because then you can learn from them.
Or just in general, just have fun with your life. If you are intrigued by something, pursue it. No one's gonna expect you to be a professional Jabberwocky or whatever high-end ballet artist or anything like that. My expectations of myself when it comes to dancing or just in general is just to have fun and enjoy myself. And maybe in the future when me and Melly have kids, I'm not gonna be shy to dance with them. They'll ask, Dad, you want to dance with me? I'm like, yeah, and then bust out the moves, and they'd be like, what the?
That's just one of the things that BJ started doing that really changed his life and his views on things. And there's a lot of things that he learned if you want to talk more about it.
Yeah, so a lot of my maturation really exponentially got better as I started this career path I'm on. From my late 20s, around like 26 to 27, to now being 32. A lot of it is finding a career path I'm really passionate about in this business slash like supplement health nutrition space, and then providing me the opportunity to fine tune my craft in different ways I couldn't really do when I was just in college or still growing, as a youngin in my early 20s.
I briefly touched on this before in an episode, but I don't know anyone who loves their job more than BJ does. And a lot of it too is because he likes to help people.
Yeah, it's, to me, it's more than a job. When you get to a certain point, that's kind of like part of the mindset. It's not a job anymore. It's kind of what you do for a living, what your impact to, your society can be. That's the kind of mindset I have now, is when I wake up every day, what sort of impact can I have, to the people around me in my life? And it just so happens I'm very lucky and blessed that my job and career path allow me to have that ability to, and get paid for it too, technically. Yeah, so that's the mindset that I have right now, is every time I wake up I have an opportunity to be a better version of myself. I'm so blessed to work for a company and in a space that allows me to maximize my abilities in something that I'm really passionate about when it comes to helping people out with their goals, getting to talk to people. I just love talking to people and interacting with them. I love the health, wellness, science space because that's where my degree kind of interlies with. I get to talk and meet a lot of people who I've learned a tremendous amount from, especially ones who have aged tremendously. Like, I know some people who are in their 70s, and if you met them, you probably think they're like late 40s, 50s. So I always like to pick their mind, ask them questions of like what they do. And a lot of it is the basics that I kind of already know. But with them, it's the consistency of doing it year after year after year after year. And a lot of it is just sleeping good, making sure you have a proper diet that fits your goals. Prioritizing like high quality protein is super important. Weight training is really, really important, especially if you're female and you're aging, because it's good for your bones. Something as simple as trying to walk 10,000 steps a day is really, really key too as well. And for me at my job, it's really easy to do. And then a lot of them who like look tremendous at their age, like I know two guys that they're in their 60s and they're crazy in shape, shredded. Both of them do a lot of high intensity cardio. Like one of them is actually still a spin instructor. Crazy. So things like that, if you can implement, would help you out a lot. So at the end of the day, it's literally just all the basics. I know as you age, sleep tends to become harder because maybe you have kids now, and then you're trying to adjust to their sleep cycle. So that's definitely something you're going to be going through and trying to adjust and find the best way to get the best quality of sleep that you can. But there are a lot of ways you can kind of maximize that. Same with your diet and exercise. Don't they always tell me like, hey, don't make any excuses. Try your best to eat the best that you can, even with your kids, because obviously it's going to be hard because maybe if your kids are picky eaters or things like that. But set the example of eating the most healthiest foods or the best quality foods that you can. That's actually something my parents did really well. They always had like home cooked meals of whole foods. So me and my brother were always taught to like eat those kind of foods. Obviously, sometimes it wasn't the healthiest Filipino food, but it was always like whole foods. And then I just kind of kept doing that now.
Whenever I look at how much we spent on groceries for the month, I'm like, what in the world? Because we're just two people. But BJ is really all about like high quality foods because in the long run, it will be better for you.
Bruh, that's all I spend money on. Like, if you know me, I literally wear the same clothes all the time. I wear like the cheapest clothes that I can get. Like, if you met me in college, I was the guy that wore tank tops, shorts all the time. I never buy fancy clothes. I never buy jewelry. And my nicest shoes are like $120 Metcons that I use all the time. So of course I'm gonna spend on things like food that I enjoy personally. Like, I love food, but I love the quality of food and I love how I feel. I don't drink. I don't, go out. I drive my brother's Elantra that I bought. Like, I'm super minimalist when it comes to things like that. So food is like one of the few things I'm not going to cheap on because it's kind of what you put in yourself. I love how I feel with the types of healthy whole foods that I enjoy.
When we do eat bad, like we eat fast food, we always make sure it's good fast food. Like if you're gonna eat bad, you eat good bad.
Yeah,
like we're not gonna go to McDonald's or Jack in the Box.
Nah. It's all about that Chick-fil-A,
In-N-Out,
Fuku Burger.
That's our favorite.
Yeah, for our Vegas peeps. I love Hawaiian food too, man. Like, I love just a good old plate lunch or plate, with some rice, mac salad, and Calbee ribs and stuff. So that's still not that bad too, if you think about it.
We also take a lot of supplements. I feel like I take a lot, but BJ's stack is way, way more than mine.
Yeah, it is, but I'm sort of like a self scientist, just trying things and protocols I've researched myself. But in reality, I work for a company that sells supplements and nutrition things like that. But you really don't need them because you want to focus on your like behaviors, like your diet, your sleep, your exercise. Supplements aren't really a need though, but definitely can enhance areas of your health and performance. Like, a lot of, honestly, my stacks, it's a lot, like what Melly said, but a lot of it is just I take like ingredients to see if it helps with my cognition, focus. If you guys have heard of nootropics, I dabble with a lot of those, and most of my basic supplements are things just for like overall health and performance because I still sprint. I just still do a lot of high intensity stuff. So
I don't know what I take, but
she takes the basics.
I take it because BJ tells me take your daily vitamins.
For our female listeners, other than the basics, things that I've learned from a lot of experts that I've listened to or talked to in the stores is maximizing your gut health. So, definitely if you want to look in and research that can help out a lot.
Yeah, gut health. And what about like mental health, like anxiety, stress?
Yeah, that's something definitely you should make emphasis on doing things to help yourself with that, right? I know some people that therapy helps out a lot, especially now with a lot of apps or companies that do like the phone ones. Those are awesome, right? Because sometimes you just need someone to vent to that isn't your significant other, friends, or coworkers.
I have a lot of anxiety, and I think I bring it upon myself because a lot of other people wouldn't be anxious, but for some reason I'm anxious. Like, I need to get to this place on time. Like, whenever I try to relax at Disneyland, I can't relax at Disneyland. I still have to plan my entire day. I have to know all the rides. I have to study the ride times at the different times of the day. I have to know what all the foods are currently at the park and make sure that if I like that food, I don't miss it. Like, I plan it still, even though I'm trying to relax. I don't know how to fix that because I just can't.
It's not, babe. It's not really about fixing it. It's about kind of using it, right? That's kind of like my secret to handling stress. I feel like I don't really get anxious. I do get stressed though, right? So whenever I have something important to get done, it goes back to I've always been good at handling stress. I don't know, just for some reason I've been kind of able to take all that adrenaline that you're feeling, for some people it makes them feel really anxious, like Melissa, but and then use it. So I think my advice for you, babe, and just for our listeners is when you do feel like that, especially if it's part of your job or being a parent or something important like that, kind of instead of being taken back by it, kind of like lean into it. Know that that's a part of life. Really, it's a part of our biology. Shout out to Dr. Human. But lean into it and then be able to kind of try to use it, especially with you now doing so much more content creating, having more deadlines. She's, you've been doing awesome with creating more content and then putting it out. You just have to kind of lean into it more and know that it's gonna be there, but instead of like fearing it or being wigged out by it, just to use it. And then that's kind of, hopefully should help you out. And that's what I do. It's part of my mindset every day at work. I try to be that, cliche 1% better every day, but it is something that you can definitely work on. And what also helps me, this is what I like to tell my coworkers, especially my younger coworkers, is I acknowledge your weaknesses, right? Know what your weaknesses are. This can help you not only in a work setting, but also in a relationship setting with your significant other or with family members, right? So for example, one of my weaknesses that Melly has helped me really get better at is my anger and temper. It runs in my family. If you talk to my family, both my grandparents, my paternal and maternal grandparents, have had that aspect to them, and it definitely got passed down to me too. So it's been something throughout my 32 years of existence that I've had to constantly work on. And at this point in my 30s, it's something I have a lot more control over. And now at this point, I can leverage it to help me in certain situations where before it just would have caused a dramatic problem.
Yeah, I'll work on that, especially when I'm pregnant, because I need to handle my like anxiety and stress levels.
Yeah, we'll handle it together. But also going back to my regulars who have aged tremendous, going into like their 60s, 70s, don't use your age as an excuse. Like I'm 32, and I've been saying it since I turned 30, is I'm in the best shape of my life because I've put in the effort to do that. I've taken time to make myself the best version of myself and continue to do that every day. So I know a lot of my friends now we're in our 30s and progressing forward, becoming fathers, mothers. So don't forget about taking care of yourself too, because I feel like it's an important thing to continue to do in whatever way you can. Just keep getting better at that. And it also allows us to be a great example to our kids now or our future kids, for the ones who don't have kids yet. And then lastly, two more things, just to kind of go over that's been helping me tremendously with my own personal growth is one is trying to stimulate my mind with as much learning as I can. I've always been a kid that was very curious, probably also because I'm on like the ADHD spectrum, so I always needed different stimulus every time. But I've always loved learning, and that's why I can kind of thrive in the job that I do, because the health and wellness space, there's so much to learn. There's so much science, there's so much protocols, so much podcasts, and in future episode, like I said, I'll tell you all the podcasts I listen to that I receive all this valuable learning information from. Focusing on learning different things that I can every day and just adding to my toolbox every day. Conversations for sure are super, super important. Some of my favorite things to do now, I mean, also before, but now I feel like it hits better. It hits harder, is having really deep conversations with people that I love, whether it be Melly, whether it be my brother, my parents. I tell my dad all the time, I was like, man, you are a Hall of Fame kind of dad, because all the things he taught me, it's like I'm seeing it in a different light. Hopefully being a father soon. So, and then lastly, truly having a good gratitude practice. I'm a big fan of the Huberman Lab podcast, so definitely check it out. Shout out to Dr. Huberman. He has an episode on gratitude, and ever since that episode, it's allowed me to have a kind of physical slash mental slash spiritual gratitude practice that I'll use from time to time to really just how to explain it. He explains it better, but just to appreciate the amounts of blessing and love that I have in my life.
Especially if you listen to last week's episode, it's really important to just be thankful and always appreciate the people, the things you have.
Just the moments you have and are able to experience, even the littlest things. Just waking up every day, like
Yeah,
a lot of
waking up
people,
every day.
yeah, a lot of people when I talk to the most kindest people, they're always like, how's your day going? And a lot of them kind of say the same thing, and they say, hey, I'm alive, I'm awake, I'm enjoying the day. And I'm like, that's what's up.
But I think that wraps it up for this episode. Thank you for sharing, babe, and happy birthday once again. I'm really proud of you and how far you have come.
You definitely are a big, big, big reason why.
Thank you guys for listening. Again, you can find more on our social media platforms at Relationship Goals Podcast, and send us a question to our hotline, relationshipgoalspodcast@gmail.com.
And then one more thing for my birthday, I just want you guys to have the best day. Enjoy yourself, enjoy your loved ones, and then yeah, do a little gratitude practice too, because I'm very grateful for all of you.
Oh, I don't even know how to end it.
Mic drop.